jonto non jama e gilandar don ton on clip Habibu Fatako don Seydou Bari jonno haray en salimina jama fo gol kala nemo yettore mudum mi andintin non ton haray ko kippugol ndara o programme humpitagol kala ko humpa don e der di programme ji fulbe ben o ay humpitade haray non Seydou Bari o yi o morso mo yimanen don Habibu Fatako Seydou Bari jonno en salimina jama fo gol kala nemo yettore mudum ami andintin non ton haray ko jartes won don darude e mi samna to dije Korka Ba e Ibrahima Ba e Mod Diallo.
Kono min keɓano o programme eɗen mi wiya on on jarama ko ɗoftina min ko programme no mbinomi ni nde yontere yawtude programme o ko enen foof dentimbo kala ko jiiɗa hen o programme o so woni hunde nama weeli walla nama metti hande tan ɗa wawi winduɗo ɗo GRTS minnamin ɗo lettre kalnamin hoko woni miijo ma hoko woni hakkille ma e o programme meɗen walla so tawi a wawa windu haɗa wawi ƴeftu téléphone ma nodda min ɗo 437 3915 437 3915 ɓeydamin hakkille hande noon mi wiya on jarama ko ɗoftiɗen koye programme ha yontere aronde o.
Hello, beautiful viewers, and welcome to another edition of the Women's Magazine, a program that gives you information about issues affecting women and how to tackle and mitigate those issues. Together, we pave the way forward. I am Fatoumata Simaha. Thank you for joining us. The Gambia joins the rest of the world to commemorate International Women's Day in March. The theme for this year's celebration is Promise is a Promise, Time for Action to Eradicating Gender-Based Violence. Women's Magazine team went around to get information or views of key players in the advancement of women on this day. We have more on that in this piece.
International Women's Day is a day set aside worldwide to highlight the vital role women play in different sectors. It is a day that recognizes the significant contribution that women have achieved and to join forces to wave the way forward for their common goal. This year's theme, A Promise is a Promise. Time for action to end gender-based violence. The team called for collaborative efforts to unite and achieve zero tolerance to gender-based violence.
When we talk about violence against women, most of the times men say, why don't you talk about women's violence against men. You know, I said most of the times, you know, when a woman slaps her husband, it becomes on the first page of a newspaper, because we think that is not normal. It shouldn't happen. Everybody talks about it. But when a man slaps his wife, they say, it's his wife. So we have normalized a man beating a woman, but a woman beating a man is hell. So no violence is normal, whether it is against a man or is against a woman. So we are not using this space to say it is normal for women to violate their husbands or their children or their male counterparts at workplace. It is not normal. But most of the times when it happens, everybody talks about it, everybody frowns. But when it happens to a woman, nobody frowns, because we think that's normal. So our message is no violence against any human being is normal, whether it's against children, and most of the times also children do suffer a lot, because the way we correct children are punitive corrective measures, which I think are not very helpful. So there is no justification for violence against any human being, particularly women who are so daring.
We are celebrating International Women's Day with the theme Eradicating Gender-Based Violence. What's your take on the theme?
Well, my take on that is when we say eradicating gender-based violence, we are looking at intensively what are the things, actually the violations that are really being given or taken in action against women especially. And especially when we look at it in a special way, talking about women in Africa, sometimes men will say, why is it that we are not talking about them? But in a special way, why we are looking at it contextually in Africa, the violence against women, it's really something that is very important for people really to talk about, because it's a reality, and of course it happens. And how is it happening? That is like women are being beaten in their homes, and again they have been made compelled to feel that they are the weaker set. And therefore in any situation, like a woman can make an error and then the woman will be beaten up. But if the man fails, what do the woman do? The man feels, yes, I am the person in authority, so I have the right. So you cannot decide as a woman whether the husband is wrong or he is right. He is the one to do everything. It is final for the man to do anything. But the woman, in any case, if she makes a mistake, that is something violating, and the man will see it as an offense, and it will not be in a negotiative form to say, okay, sorry, you have done this and that, in a negotiative form for them to agree. But then the man can have the authority, the power to slap the woman or beat up the woman or take up a decision against her and say, go out of my house. So do we always say that men are not always offensive? They don't have mistakes, they don't create errors, they don't have all these things. So while we are looking at this in a reflective way, we are saying it is a society in a place that a man and a woman comes in union, being one, together, flesh. Not to see as this is the woman, this is the man, but we are together now with understanding. Just as when you look at it, when a man goes to look for a woman, if you go to say, well, I love you, those are moments that they take humility. They don't go with force. They don't use power on that. They smile and come to you and cheer, use good words. I love you, darling. All those good, sweet words, they give it to you. And those are the convincing messages that women see. And they say, well, I think this man is good enough for me to go with. So when I reach home and now those words are being eradicated, I don't hear any more darling. I don't hear the word sweetheart. Instead, you use force, authority on the woman. Then these are some of the things that make the woman to say, is this the right man that came to me when I was young to tell me, can I take you, convince me to take me to his house? So why we are talking about all these things, not about a man and a woman, we are not there to fight. Why you said you love me, the word love has